Welcome back. So starting out the week, I'm prepping the rear seats to be bonded into place. So yeah, they're just sitting there and getting ready to be marked and then have the high sole put on. And here I prepped the firewall by removing a bunch of stuff there and just sort of cleaning up and giving a quick sand in readiness for putting this Fiberfrax material on there, which is a fire resistant material that can withstand up to 2000 degrees. So the last thing I'm doing there after sanding it all is, and I blew it all off with the air hose, and now I'm just wiping it down quickly with some alcohol just to make sure this stuff sticks okay. So this Fiberfrax, I got this from Aircraft Spruce on the recommendation of somebody on I think the last video, and I also got the sort of glue that they provide with it, which kind of looks like flour and water really mixed together. So anyway, you paint the glue on fairly thick, and then you just put the material on, and obviously you cut it to suit and make sure it fits around every corner and stuff. And obviously our firewall is a little bit more complicated than the average one because of the little ears there that go around the baggage compartment, but that's what happens when you're trying to make the most of the different space that you have available in your engine compartment. Anyway, so it wasn't that fun working with this stuff. It wasn't uncomfortable or anything, but it was just kind of weird. It's like a sort of it's kind of like asbestos, but it's not asbestos. It's kind of like a thick paper, and it actually sort of peels away if you start sort of like roughing on the surface there. Anyway, and even the glue, as I said, it's kind of like a flour and water mixture. It doesn't really seem to glue all that well, but and it looks like the stuff would absorb a lot of dirt. So my goal is to put it all on and then cover that with this gold stuff that I bought a while ago that can handle up to 800 degrees Fahrenheit of temperature. So here you can see I've got the first section on, and I've just basically cut it so it's just fitting in place there, and it comes in a 2 foot wide roll of however long that you want. So I bought like 12 feet of it, so 12 by 2, 24 square feet altogether. And so I just cut the first section there, and what I'm doing now is just basically painting behind the first section there with this glue, and then I'll push that section over and then sort of peel it back and then do the rest of it. And I haven't done this before on this, use this particular stuff at all. Obviously I haven't done any of this before. It's my first time building an airplane, or at least participating in a build. So I was just figuring out how to do this, the best way to do this as I was going, given the material and stuff, and it wasn't that difficult, but I spent the best part of sort of late morning into early afternoon doing this, mainly because I'm working around some of the different little studs and holes and things that we've already have in the firewall, and I needed to go back and mark things and refine the holes and push through the little studs, push them through the material, just to make sure everything was there. And I took pictures of the firewall ahead of time just to make sure I know where all the holes are. I don't know if you ever built a house and stuff, but a lot of times the guys who are doing the drywall, they'll just drywall right over an outlet, and they'll forget to cut it out of the drywall, and you wonder, like, wasn't there an outlet on that wall? So that's why I take pictures of everything, so I can double check where all the holes were or are. So the Fiberfrax comes in 2 different thicknesses. You can get it in 1/8 of an inch and 1/16 of an inch. So I ended up choosing 1/16 of an inch because I just didn't want too much bulk there, because obviously a lot of things are bolting up, and if you have too much bulk, that's going to potentially go and change things and change dimensions of things, so and make it difficult to install things that you already had sort of aligned in place. And the gold sort of shield that I'm putting over this, that's fairly thin, but it's actually really durable. It's kind of like it's not like gold foil or anything like that. It's much more like a vinyl type material in terms of its properties for stretchiness and how much it would tear. Whereas this stuff is like dry paper mache. It's just you can put your fingernail through it almost. So it's not very durable itself. So I think a lot of people who've used this fiber frax have put like an aluminum sheet over the top of it to provide, you know, some protection, or some other type of aluminum wrap. And I figured the gold was just as good as anything. So there you can see I'm peeling it back to put the glue behind the second section. So that was the job for most of that day. And here you can see I'm just doing the last little bits of the ears there of the baggage compartment area there. Or the baggage compartment's just below there. So put the glue on and just push it down into place and hope that it sticks and stays, and then, you know, just trim off around the edges. And meanwhile, here's Jeff. He's in the cabin there, and he's laying out the high sole to mount those rear seat mounts. And I believe he's already got them in place there. That's why he's sort of pushing down. And so this is what the firewall looks like now, with it completely covered with the fiber frax. So next step is to put the gold stuff on there and protect that. So that'll be, well, that was Tuesday's job. And Devin got the cross brace here for the intake scoop all painted up there, just with some etch primer, and I got that bolted into place. So that's another job out of the way. And there's a look at the rear seats now that they're bonded in. So you can see under there the grey is the high sole there over the keel. So nice to have the cantilever seats in there, and the test will be to sit on them in the morning and see how they feel. And now we're on to Tuesday morning, and I've actually taken the rear seats out already. I did sit on them for a little while and feels good, nice and stable there and no movement. And so I've got the front seats in now, and the center console in, and just getting everything sort of marked out and aligned so I know it's all in the right spot, and that can be bonded in. And Jeff's been working on the foreplane as well, and you can see he's got the linkage now hooked up, or at least temporarily hooked up there for the elevator, just trying it out. And that's only going through a little bit of the travel there, so I just wanted to show you that. And so now the front seats are all marked out where the high sole needs to be, and just tape, you know, and just high sole in between the tape there basically, and also on the mounts themselves. And Jeff and Devin have been working on the side, doing these little cover panels there. These are for the lower skins of the elevator. And I'm starting out with the gold. So there it is. Looks like, you know, like gold leaf. But it's pretty blingy. Anyway, just gluing that in place. Well, actually, it's a sticky back, but still using some more of that other glue. And here's Jeff just starting to put the high sole down there on the keel, and just mixed up. I don't know how much they mixed up, but as you can see there, he's just putting it in place, and he ends up putting some there on the underside of the cantilever seat mounts as well. And while you're watching Jeff do that, I'll let you know that I did actually get that replacement connector in for the pressurization controller that came in on Monday. And on Tuesday this morning, I managed to get it installed and plugged in nicely. So I put all the pins in and everything, and actually tested it again, and it's all working. So that's that job done. And after I did that, I did put some more of those Velcro ties and stuff behind the dash there on some of the cables that hadn't been done yet. And so that's all basically finished behind there now, and I can start closing that up. So it's pretty exciting to have the seats going in now, because this will mean that I can put the center console in kind of, I wouldn't say for the last time, but maybe the last time, and hook up the rest of the wiring and stuff in there, and then most of the stuff in the cabin is done then, really, and I can start helping do things on the outside. So talked to the airport manager yesterday, and got sorted out with hangar space there, so he's got something lined up for us. I haven't seen it yet, but I'll be going up there at some point. But we'll be taking a lease there on some hangar space so we can move the aircraft, and hopefully we'll be ready to move it in the middle of April, so maybe 4 weeks away if we get our act together and pull our finger out and get all the stuff done that needs to be done before we move up there. So, and the weather's, starting to get real nice, so I've actually picked the perfect time of the year to be up at the airport and outside in the springtime, and I'm really actually looking forward to that. It's going to be much better than being stuck in the building when it's freezing cold outside, so that's exciting. And making some progress here on the gold there on the back of the firewall, so it's kind of bright. Kind of need some sunglasses in there, and hopefully that lasts pretty well. So this is what the seats look like now that they're bonded in there, and time to put the console over there once that's all set up, and I can hook up the last few things and get it all sorted out. And the carpet won't go in until after flight testing, probably. Just want to keep it in decent shape. And speaking of high sol and closing out and stuff, so here's Jeff closing out the first of the elevators here. He's putting a high sol on the bottom of the ribs there. Obviously those ribs have been bonded into the upper skin a little while back. And this is what it looks like there with the skin in place. And just some weights on there and some clamps to hold it down while it cures. And I'm guessing he'll probably do the other one tomorrow, and then it won't be too long and he'll be able to get on to closing the foreplane out. And by the end of the day, this is what the firewall looked like, so I can start putting a couple things back through there and the bolts and stuff, and mounting the pumps and stuff back behind there that the bolts went through the firewall. So that's good. And then on to the next project, probably center console and a few other things in the cabin, and then see what else is on the list. So that's the update for the first half of this week, and thanks again for watching, and tune in again on Saturday.